Last week, Eli showed us how to clean and recondition this valuable mahogany table, and he began the time-consuming task of polishing it. Elias, his assistant, has now completed that task.
Thank you, Elias.
And we're back for Eli to show us the final steps in the restoration process. You did a great job.
We're going to get Martha to do a little work on here. Okay?
Wow, does that look different? Look how beautifully the grain has come out.
Can you see where the old marks were?
Nope.
Okay, this has been re-amalgamated. That's what has happened. Yeah, this actually needs many more hours of work in order to fill the grain.
Right, I can see I can see a little bit of like little holes, and that gets all filled with more shellac.
More shellac, and then later it gets fueled and waxed. Right now, Martha, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you how we steel wool and wax the top of the table.
Oh, good.
Again, with the 4-row steel wool, which is the same one we've been using.
I think I'll put more rubber gloves on.
Open up the steel wool. Let's look around for any problems. There's a piece there. See that big piece?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that can really damage a nice piece. See how thick that is?
Oh, yes.
Okay, it's hard to see it, but there it is. Here's another piece. Okay, now take that one and roll it inside out. Okay. The entire surface is supposed to be evenly steel-wooled.
Exactly.
So that the wax has an even surface to adhere to. So in order to ensure that, what we do is we hold the pad properly, which is right like this. We put it at the end, put your hand over it, and we go across like this. Once.
Using the entire pad.
Yes. Now what you see here is just shellac that's on there. That's okay. Now we have a prepared
So how many layers of shellac have I just taken off?
What you've done is actually just abraded the upper level of it. In an American piece that requires a much lower luster, we usually put about this much shellac, which is about 50% of the grain filled, and then use a lot of wax on it. On English, it's about a 75%, filling the grain about 75%, and then wax.
In French, what about that French? The
French is 100% filled, and then another 10% on top of it. It's 110% filled, and you don't wax those.
That's right.
They want mirror finish. And in England or America, that's not the proper finish for American or English pieces.
Boy, so
what we want is luster. And now we'll show you how to use the wax. This is the wax we use in the shop. This is a microcrystalline paraffin-based wax, which is acid-free. And we use these on surfaces which have a delicate finish, meaning old shellac finishes are very valuable American pieces.
I have to get that.
Okay.
I've been using the alternative, that butcher's wax.
Boston's bowling alley butcher's wax. So we use it here on chairs.
But the clear.
Yeah, the clear one. Well, hold this for a second and let me get a can of that. And this is a clear wax, which is available in most hardware stores. This wax is one that can be applied to the surfaces. All right, both of them are clear. First thing you must remember is that you do it in sections. For instance, if you were doing this table, you would do one leaf, and you would apply the wax and take it off. Do not wait 20 minutes. You take it off with one rag, buff it up with another rag.
Okay.
All right?
Because I got ridges, and I really had a problem.
If you let it dry, you'll never get the ridges out of there.
Thank you.
And you have to go to the minerals for it to get it out. Okay, so now we'll use the Regency wax. Now, when we're waxing, what we do is we have 3 rags, right? 2 of them, here's one that you have here. One is going to be to take off the excess. One is going to be used to actually put in the wax.
Why?
All right. And the last one is to buff up.
Oh, okay. So this is underwear.
That's
UW?
UW10. This is
and T-shirts, old T-shirts are really good for this.
Correct. So let me put on a pair of gloves. You take that rag in your hand. Now, when we're putting on the wax, let me show you the first. Again, we only do it in sections, all right? And we can do it in circular motions at first and straighten it out. Circular motions. We actually want to get into any areas that are hollow and have dust in there from the steel wooling. Now, to remove the excess, we don't wait till it dries on this one. And we take the excess off in this fashion. Same way. We'll just take it off with the grain. All we need is a micro layer. Okay? The last step is to buff it up with cheesecloth. And that's when we use a cheesecloth. Same thing we've been using all the time, famous cheesecloth. And this is where, if you let it dry too much, you have a lot of elbow grease. Right now you can buff this up quicker. So you would put the grain and you go like that.
That luster, that's exactly the kind of finish I love.
Now you'll notice there'll be less resistance as you go down. Here, give it a shot. Now, this wax, unlike the other spray waxes, repels dust, while some of those oily substances you put on the pieces attract dust. Daily maintenance would actually just be little damp cloth, take off the food and buff it with a clean piece of cheesecloth. That's on a daily basis. Re-waxing should only be done about 4 times a year. Now, I want you to feel that. See how it feels.
So right? Smooth.
Now, this wax is actually going to repel any dust that's on there. And it's really smooth, and this is what it looks like. There it is.
It's fantastic.
We're done.
Oh, it's great. Thank you so much.
You're
you know,
welcome.
you are a great teacher, and I really have enjoyed being your student. Thank you so much. I'm sure all our viewers got as much out of this as I did.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Come back soon.
Thank you. You're going to come to my house.
I will.
Thanks.